BM Peace Falcon V delivered in July/August 2011 from Belgium. The purchase totaled 31 aircraft, putting the AJAF in a good position with 62 F-16s. Peace Falcon I, edit. On the 29th of July 1996, a $220 million agreement was signed between the United States and Jordan authorizing the lease of 16 F-16 fighter jets, 12 F-16A and 4 F-16B aircraft, to Jordan. This agreement, formally signed by Field Marshal Meir, Chief of Staff of the Royal Jordanian Armed Forces, and Major General Ababner, Chief of Staff of the Royal Jordanian Air Force, was linked to the Middle East peace process and close US-Jordanian relations. The Complete Material Forward/Training Support Agreement, known as the F-16 Peace Falcon program, includes funding for aircraft structural upgrades, engine modifications, support equipment and spare parts procurement, and pilot forward/maintenance training. The agreement consisted of 2 lease contracts and a letter of offer and acceptance, LOA. The first lease was a no-cost lease for Jordan, covering 13 aircraft, 12 AM models and 1 B model, Block 15 OCUs that were modified into ADF, Air Defense Fighters, versions. Under the Arms Export Control Act, the DoD was able to provide these aircraft at a no-cost lease because they had flown off over 75% of their life, i.e. more than 3,000 hours. 3 of the B-model aircraft still had more than 25% of their life left and they fall under the second $4.5 million lease. Both leases cover a 5-year period. The LOA is for $215 million. Covering all costs associated with upgrading those aircraft, doing the structural modifications to them, the engine upgrades, providing the support equipment, the logistics, the training. The aircraft, all of which have flown previously by active Air Force and Air National Guard units, had been in storage for at least a year at the Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Center, AMIC, at Davis-Monthan AFB, Tucson, Arizona before they were shipped to Hill AFB, Utah. There the aircraft directorate personnel from the Ogden Air Logistics Center performed structural upgrades to extend aircraft life from the designed 4,000 to 8,000 hours flying time as part of the Falcon Up Forward/Service Life Improvement Program. They also modified the aircraft engine bay to accept the upgraded Pratt & Whitney F100-220E engine. New ground was broken with this foreign military sales program, taking used F-16s from the desert, AMIC, completely refurbishing and modifying them and delivering the aircraft to the customer within a 17-month time frame. On the 14th of October, 1997, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Curtis, flying safety officer at Hill AFB, pushed the throttles forward and released the brakes on his F-16 Fighting Falcon aircraft. Within a matter of seconds the aircraft accelerated to 140 knots and the first Jordanian F-16, tail number #80-0547, was airborne. It took more than 13,000 man-hours to get this F-16 ready for its first flight. The #80-0547 had not flown since November 1994, when it was flown from the ENG station in Garden City, NJ to the Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Center, Davis-Monthan, Arizona. The official rollout of the Peace Falcon was on the 28th of October 1997, on Hill AFB, Utah. The Jordan program required that 6 aircraft be available for ferry flight delivery to Jordan in December 1997, and 5 each to be available for ferry flight in January and February 1998. At that time, the AJAF planned to acquire as much as 60 to 70 F-16s, if possible C/D models, enough to equip 3 squadrons. Peace Falcon II, edit. There have been talks about a second batch of 16 refurbished F-16s, which would have been delivered under the Peace Falcon 2 program. After initial talks in 1999, no further news has become available about this program. The AJAF is still looking for a replacement for its obsolete F-5 fighters, which are due within a couple of years. They are in favor of acquiring another batch of F-16s for this replacement. On the 29th of January, 2003, numerous sources indicated that Jordan received 6 F-16 fighters that day in a ceremony held at Shahid Mwafaq al-Sattalti AFB. This ceremony was attended by Prince Faisal bin Hussein and U.S. Ambassador Jordan Edward W. Nem. The U.S. Embassy in Oman stated that these 6 aircraft were the first of a batch of another 17, 12 F-16s and 5 F-16Bs, that would be delivered to Jordan during the year 2003. All these aircraft are former U.S. and F-16 ADFs. These aircraft are to be upgraded with the MLU modification, C modifications and armament. Ultimately, 16 A models and 1 B model were delivered to the AJAF. Most of those airframes were put into storage waiting for their MLU conversion. In 2008, these modifications were in full swing at the TUSA's facility in Ankara, Turkey. By 2009, all of those modified airframes will be delivered back to Jordan for operational use. Peace Falcon 3, edit. In 2005, the AJAF contacted the Dutch and Belgian governments for a batch of F-16s. In April 2006, representatives of both air forces flew to Oman to sign a letter of intent for the acquisition of up to 22 ex-Dutch, 8 airframes, and ex-Belgian, 14 airframes, F-16s. The lot would consist of 17 A models and 5 B models, Netherlands, 5 A models, 3 B models, Belgium, 12 A models, 2 B models. All these aircraft have undergone the MLU upgrade, which gives the Jordanians a serious boost in air power and also a sneak preview of the possibilities they will gain after their entire fleet is upgraded with this package. The aircraft are due to be delivered in 2007-2008. In 2009, a total of 16 Belgian F-16s, 12s and 4 Bs, were delivered, but the Dutch order for A models was cancelled. By that time it became apparent that only the 3 B models of the first purchase from the Netherlands and the 3 B models included in the second purchase would be handed over to Jordan during 2009 as part of Peace Falcon 4. Peace Falcon 4, edit. The Dutch Secretary of Defense announced at the Dubai Air Show in November 2005 that he had signed a letter of intent for the purchase of 3 F-16Bs by the AJAF. The aircraft were to be used as training assets and are due for delivery in 2006. In the end, the number of F-16BMs was raised to 6. The delivery of those was postponed until the summer of 2009. Peace Falcon V, edit. In 2009, the Belgian government decided to put another 9 F-16Ms for sale. The first country to respond was Jordan, and negotiations have been ongoing till 2011. Finally, the delivery consisted of 6 F-16Ms and 3 F-16BMs, all delivered in July 2011. The number of Jordanian F-16s rises to 64 airframes with this delivery. On the 24th of December, 2014, a Jordanian F-16 crashed in Syria after being allegedly shot down by ISIS. The pilot, First Lieutenant Muath Safi Youssef al-Kasasbi, was captured by ISIS militants. On the 3rd of February, 2015, a video posted on ISIS-linked jihadi websites showed al-Kasasbi being burned alive. Oman, edit. In May 2002, the Sultanate of Oman signed an agreement with the U.S. government to purchase 12 advanced Block 50 F-16s in the Peace Summer Safiya, Clear Skies, Foreign Military Sales, FMS, program. The agreement includes 8 single-seat F-16Cs and 4 two-seat F-16Ds. On the 23rd of August 2010, Peace Summer Safiya 2 contract was signed, which saw a further 10 F-16C and 2 F-16Ds delivered in 2014. United Arab Emirates, edit. The United Arab Emirates operates the newer F-16 variants, the F-16 Block 60, F-16E, single-seat, and F-16F, two-seat, unofficially called the F-16 Desert Falcon. The aircraft has been developed especially for the United Arab Emirates Air Force, WAF, and features improved and forward/APG-80 active electronically scanned array, AESA, radar, avionics, conformal fuel tanks, CFTs, and the more powerful General Electric F-110 GE-132 engine. The United Arab Emirates invested in its development and generate royalty payment for operators buying it. Africa, edit. Morocco, edit. The Bush administration announced plans to sell Morocco 24 F-16C/D fighters and 24 Beechcraft T-6 Texan II trainer aircraft valued at up to $2.6 billion on the 27th of December 2007. The sale was officially announced on the 6th of June 2008 and deliveries commenced in July 2011. All F-16s were delivered by the end of August 2012. On the 25th of March 2019, the U.S. government approved the sale of 25 new F-16 Block 72s and related equipment for an estimated cost of $3.787 billion, as well as an upgrade package to bring the 23 existing F-16 Block 52 plus up to the very similar F-16V standard plus the related equipment for an estimated cost of $985.2 million. Asia, edit. Indonesia, edit. The Indonesian Air Force operates a mix of F-16A/B Block 15 OCUs and F-16C/D Block 32 plus S, locally promoted as Block 52 ID or Block 25 Advanced. In 1989, Indonesia received a single allotment of 8 F-16s and 4 F-16Bs. 2 F-16s were lost in accidents, leaving the fleet with only 10 F-16s. The U.S. offered Indonesia some or all of the 28 F-16s formerly belonging to Pakistan under the Peacegate program. A purchase of 9 more aircraft was cancelled in favor of 12 Su-30Ki, however this order was later also cancelled due to the Asian financial crisis. The Indonesian Air Force was planning to upgrade its F-16A/BS to F-16C/D variants by the end of 2009. Another option was to purchase new F-16C/DS to replace the retired F-5E Tiger IIS still kept in reserve. Starting in 1998, the United States imposed an arms embargo on Indonesia, followed by the EU in September 1999, but the Indonesian F-16s were still operational and underwent a Falcon Up program with the assistance from Dutch companies, after the European Union lifted their arms embargo in January 2000. The US embargo was lifted in 2004, and the US has since delivered 24 refurbished F-16C/DS to add to 10 older F-16A/B models. The total estimated cost was $750 million, and that included an upgrade to near Block 52 standard. With the retirement of its F-5 Tiger IIS, the Indonesian Air Force was seeking additional airplane types well suited for the air defense role. In February 2018, Indonesia signed a purchase contract to buy 11 Sukhoi Su-35 fighters in a US $1.1 billion deal. However, on the 22nd of December, 2021, during a press tour and media gathering, Chief of Staff of the Indonesian Air Force Air Chief Marshal Fajar Prasetyo has confirmed that the Su-35 purchase will not go ahead. Regarding the planned purchase of the Sukhoi Su-35, Fajar said it would be abandoned. The 14th Air Squadron that was planned to use the Su-35 were given F-16s instead from existing 3rd and 16th Air Squadrons, while the Sukhoi Su-27/30 were given back to the 11th Air Squadron. Lockheed Martin was offering the F-16V Viper as a cheaper alternative. Indonesia is currently upgrading its F-16A/BS under the IMLU Falcon Star project. The Indonesian Air Force has plans to purchase 32 F-16V Block 70/72s in 2020 to 2024 for the MEF, Minimum Essential Force, Phase 3 program. But the Ministry of Defense is interested in purchasing F-15Xs and Dassault Rifles instead. The Indonesian Foreign Military Sales Program is known as Peace Bimusno. 3rd Air Wing, Iswajudi Air Force Base, Madiun, East Java. 3rd Air Squadron Dragons, F-16M/BM. 14th Air Squadron Tigers, F-16C/D. 6th Air Wing, Rose Min Nurjadin Air Force Base, Pekanbaru, Riau. 16th Air Squadron Riders, F-16C/D. Pakistan, edit. Pakistan was an early customer of the F-16, seeking to counter a heavy Soviet presence in Afghanistan, in addition to countering its traditional rival, India. An initial order for 40 aircraft was delivered in 2 installments, and led to a further order for 71 more F-16A/B Block 15 OCU aircraft. Due to political developments relating to Pakistan's nuclear program, these aircraft were embargoed before delivery. 28 remained in storage while other buyers were sought, and a 10-year lease to the Royal New Zealand Air Force fell through due to a change of government, but ultimately it was decided that the aircraft would be put into service with the US Air Force and Navy as aggressor aircraft. The remaining aircraft were not completed. The Pakistani Foreign Military Sales Program is known as Peacegate. In November 2006, the Pakistan Air Force signed a letter of acceptance, LOA, for 18 new-built F-16C/D Block 52s, 28 F-16A/B Block 15s and 60 midlife update M3 tape modules/kits as part of a $5.1 billion deal including fighter aircraft, their related infrastructure, training and ammunition. Deliveries of the F-16A/BS were expected to begin in 2007, while the initial F-16C/DS would likely be received sometime in late 2008 or early 2009. The procurement of new-built aircraft and the refurbishment and upgrade of 60 used and serving aircraft was expected to be complete by 2010-2012. As per the Pakistan Air Force Air Chief Marshal Tanveer Mahmood Ahmed. In April 2006, Yanes Defense Weekly reported that the PAF may procure an additional 18 Block 52 aircraft. In July 2007, Commander of Central Command Air Forces, Lieutenant General Gary L. North, U.S. Air Force, and another U.S. aviator flew a pair of F-16s to Pakistan for Pakistan Air Force. In December 2009, the first F-16/D Block 52 rolled out for PAF. The first batch arrived in Pakistan in May 2010, and 17 F-16C/DS had been delivered to the PAF by the end of December 2010. One F-16D used for testing joined the PAF in 2012 along with 2 examples upgraded to MLU standards in the USA. In April 2014, the PAF received a batch of 5 second-hand F-16s bought from Jordan, from an order for 13 aircraft. In 2016, the US approved the sale of 8 F-16 Block 52, 2C and 6D models, to Pakistan for $700 million. Pakistan had hoped to acquire the 8 F-16s for $270 million instead, with the rest being subsidized by coalition support funds, but the US declined to subsidize the sale, and the deal fell through. In 2019, the US approved a $125 million deal with Pakistan to provide technical support to existing F-16s. Singapore,